What a night it was for Dallas Cowboys fans! The stadium erupted, social media exploded, and the critics were forced to eat their words as the Cowboys delivered an absolute statement game against the Washington Commanders, crushing them 44-22 in a dominant performance that reminded the entire NFL just how dangerous this team can be when everything clicks. This wasn't just a win, it was a message. A warning shot to the rest of the NFC that the Cowboys are not to be counted out. From Dak Prescott's precision passing to a defense that finally looked like the elite unit fans have been waiting to see, this game had everything you could want if you bleed silver and blue. From the very first drive, you could tell this was going to be something special. Dak Prescott came out calm, confident, and in total control. The Commanders' defense looked like they didn't even know what hit them. Every time Dak dropped back, he seemed to find his target with laser-like accuracy. Whether it was CeeDee Lamb slicing through the secondary or Brandin Cooks breaking free on deep routes, the passing attack looked unstoppable. Prescott finished the night with over 300 yards and 4 touchdown passes, but those numbers only tell half the story. The way he commanded the offense, spread the ball around, and took what the defense gave him showed a quarterback playing at his absolute peak. But it wasn't just Dak doing all the heavy lifting. The offensive line deserves massive credit for their protection tonight. For weeks, fans have been worried about inconsistency in the trenches, but against Washington, they put on a masterclass. Prescott was barely touched all game, and the running backs had lanes wide enough to drive a truck through. Tony Pollard looked rejuvenated, finding burst and vision that's been missing in recent weeks. He racked up solid yardage on the ground and added another dimension to the passing game with short checkdowns that turned into big gains. The balance between the run and pass kept the Commanders' defense guessing all night, and when Dallas needed a big play, they got it. The turning point of the game came late in the first half. With the Cowboys already up by 10, the Commanders were driving, trying to close the gap before halftime. That's when the Dallas defense made its presence felt in a major way. Micah Parsons, who had been relatively quiet in recent games, exploded off the edge and delivered a strip sack that completely changed the momentum. The ball popped loose, the Cowboys recovered, and just 2 plays later, Prescott hit Lamb for a 25-yard touchdown. Suddenly, the Cowboys were up big, and the energy inside AT&T Stadium was electric. You could feel it through the screen. This was the Dallas team everyone had been waiting to see. Defensively, this was the best the Cowboys have looked in weeks. After a rough stretch that saw the secondary giving up too many big plays, Dan Quinn's unit looked revitalized. Trayvon Diggs' absence has been a major storyline all season, but DaRon Bland stepped up in a huge way once again, snagging yet another interception and returning it for a touchdown. That's his 5th pick six of the season, an insane stat that puts him in elite company. Bland has become the breakout star of the Cowboys defense, and his ability to change games in an instant has been nothing short of remarkable. The defensive line, led by Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence, made life miserable for Washington's quarterback, constantly collapsing the pocket and forcing hurried throws. Speaking of Washington, it's safe to say this was a nightmare performance for them. Sam Howell came into the game riding some momentum, but by the second quarter, that confidence had completely evaporated. He was pressured on nearly every drop back, took several hard hits, and threw 2 costly interceptions. The Commanders' offense simply couldn't find any rhythm, and when they did manage to string together a few plays, penalties and turnovers killed their drives. The Cowboys' defense feasted, and it felt like they were playing with a swagger that's been missing since early in the season. Quinn's aggressive play calling paid off, and the defense not only contained Washington, they completely smothered them. On offense, the chemistry between Prescott and CeeDee Lamb was once again off the charts. Lamb continues to prove that he's not just a number 1 receiver, he's one of the best in the league. His route running was crisp, his hands were reliable, and his ability to gain yards after the catch turned short passes into highlight plays. He finished the night with over 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, both of which showcased his explosive ability to separate and make defenders miss. Brandin Cooks added another score and showed how valuable his veteran experience can be in key moments. Jake Ferguson, too, continues to emerge as a trusted red zone target for Dak, hauling in another touchdown to cap off a near-perfect offensive performance. One of the most impressive aspects of this win was how complete it felt. The Cowboys have had games this season where one side of the ball carried the other, but against Washington, everything came together. The offense moved efficiently, the defense attacked relentlessly, and even the special teams contributed with solid returns and accurate kicking. Brandon Aubrey remains automatic, nailing every field goal and extra point. When you win in all three phases of the game, you're sending a message, and that message was loud and clear: the Cowboys are back, and they're playing their best football when it matters most. Coach Mike McCarthy deserves credit for the way he prepared this team. The game plan was sharp, aggressive, and perfectly tailored to exploit Washington's weaknesses. After a few weeks of conservative play calling and questionable decisions, McCarthy seemed to trust his players again, and they rewarded him with one of their most dominant outings of the season. It's the kind of win that can reignite confidence inside the locker room and re-establish the Cowboys as legitimate contenders in the NFC. With the playoffs inching closer, this was the statement victory they needed. The Cowboys sideline was pure energy from start to finish. You could see it in the players' faces. This wasn't just about winning a game, it was about proving something. Dak was fired up after every big throw, Parsons was hyping up the defense after every sack, and even the role players were celebrating each stop and first down like it was the Super Bowl. That team unity, that brotherhood, was on full display. It's the kind of chemistry that championship teams build around. Looking ahead, this victory does more than just add another tally to the win column. It redefines how the rest of the league views Dallas. Teams now have to prepare for a Cowboys squad that's found its rhythm again. Prescott looks confident, the receivers are in sync, the running game is efficient, and the defense is back to creating chaos. If they can keep this momentum going, the Cowboys have a real shot to climb up the NFC standings and make a deep playoff run. The upcoming schedule will test them, but after this performance, fans have every reason to believe that this team can compete with anyone. It's also worth mentioning how resilient the Cowboys have been in bouncing back from adversity. Just a few weeks ago, the media was questioning everything from Dak's leadership to McCarthy's play calling to the defense's toughness. Yet here they are, delivering a near-perfect game against a divisional rival. That's the kind of bounce-back effort that defines good teams from great ones. Every player seemed to take those criticisms personally, and it showed in their intensity and execution. The Cowboys didn't just beat the Commanders, they dismantled them, piece by piece. Fans left the stadium buzzing, chanting, "How about them Cowboys?" And for good reason. This was the type of win that restores faith, that reignites hope, and that reminds everyone why this team commands so much attention year after year. The stars showed up when it mattered most. Dak played like an MVP-caliber quarterback, CeeDee Lamb looked unstoppable, and the defense looked like the terrorizing force it was built to be. The Cowboys didn't just win, they dominated, they entertained, and they made a statement that will echo through the rest of the season. After the game, Prescott was all smiles, talking about how much fun it was to play when everything is working. He credited his offensive line, praised his receivers, and gave props to the defense for setting the tone. It's that leadership, that humility, that keeps this locker room grounded even after a big win. Meanwhile, Micah Parsons reminded everyone why he's one of the most feared players in the league. His relentless pressure, his ability to disrupt plays, and his sideline-to-sideline pursuit were the heartbeat of the defense. You could tell he was hungry, and when Parsons is hungry, opposing quarterbacks better watch out. The Cowboys now move forward with renewed energy and belief. This 44-22 blowout wasn't just a victory, it was a statement that this team has championship potential when it executes at this level. The fans have waited to see this version of the Cowboys balanced, confident, and ruthless, and tonight, they finally got it. With every passing week, the NFC race tightens, but if Dallas continues to play like this, they won't just be in the race, they might just lead it. So, Cowboys Nation, enjoy this one. It's been a long time coming, and it feels good to see America's team firing on all cylinders again. The offense is rolling, the defense is attacking, and the confidence is through the roof. Dak Prescott silenced his doubters, the defense answered their critics, and together they delivered one of the most dominant performances of the season. The next few games will be crucial, but after this, one thing is certain: the Cowboys are officially back in business, and the rest of the league better take notice. If you're a true Cowboys fan and you love seeing this team play like champions, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future updates, highlights, and in-depth breakdowns. This is the kind of football we live for, and it feels like the best is yet to come for the Dallas Cowboys.